off on after just to clarify some things. And in reality, what we see is the golfers that tend to be more shallow are golfers that have been shallow throughout their career, but they also tend to be more of what I call a swing right golfer. And being a swing right golfer, coming more from the inside, they tend to be shallower. And what they end up doing is they create a release pattern that matches up with them being shallow. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, I've been a steep player, or more of a digger throughout my career, and I'm a swing left golfer. And swing left golfers actually just have a different angle of attack, and they create a different release pattern to work with that. So for example, if I've got about a 30-yard shot here, if I was going to be a swing right golfer, I set up a little bit more open, I have a little bit more inside, takeaway and return, and this is just my particular way of demonstrating this. There are a lot of different varieties of swing right golfers, but I'm going to have a much more shallower angle of attack, and I'm going to create a release pattern that works with that. Whether I'm going to loft it in the air or play a low one and release it, or a medium one, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to create a release pattern that works with that. So again, a little bit more shallow angle attack. I still have my buttons in front of the ball. I still want to feel like my center is more in front of the ball as I'm playing this shot right now. But again, a more shallow angle of attack and a release pattern that pattern that goes ahead and works with that. So now, if I was actually, what I actually am is a swing left golfer, and I have a little steeper angle of attack, I can square up my stance here. I can create a steeper angle of attack, and I'm just going to shallow it out differently. I've always told people that I engage the leading edge first, and then I engage the bounce, kind of like Greg Norman played that way as well. So what I'm going to do now is create a more steep angle attack. I'm going to be swinging left as I do that. And I have a variety of ways that I can actually help shallow this out. I can keep my hands a little bit more forward, keep my buttons forward. I can actually just add a little bit more posture up through the ball. As many of you know, I have golfers posture up a lot. As a matter of fact, even Stan Utley, who is a swing right golfer, a coverer, and is very shallow, I've actually had him in the past, even more so, throw the club head down, dumping that energy, and then standing up and turning through to help shallow out that angle of attack when he actually sends the club head down more. So same thing's going to happen here as a swing left golfer with a steeper angle of attack. As I go through, I just go. I just go ahead and posture up a little bit more on the way through. And I got the same trajectory on both of those. I got the same action as they landed. They both checked nicely, hop forward and walk. And so, but you'll notice I may take a little bit more turf there as a steeper angle of attack golfer than I would as a shallow angle attack golfer. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. I can actually learn to actually posture up and add a little tilt into my counter extension, and that'll shallow it out even more, for example. So swing left golfer, a little more steep, and then I just go ahead and posture up. And then I just go ahead and posture up and add some tilt back into my counter extension action, and you can see I cleaned that one really nicely. So my point here is that there's a lot of different ways to do that. If you're a swing straight golfer like Henrik Stenson, then you'd be somewhere in between. But all golfers can use posturing up to help shallow out the angle attack. Whether I'm coming in steeper like a digger, and then I add that posturing up to shallow it out, or I add those tilts as I'm posturing up to shallow out, or whether I'm just more of an inside player and I'm already shallow to begin with, and I still go ahead and add some posture up to shallow it out. We can all get the job done. The key is you have to know, are you a swing right golfer, swing straight golfer, or swing left golfer, and you need to match your release pattern to your angle